No, dude,
Okay.
we were just doing it like, hey, we never even started it.
Yeah, so we're started now.
Sounds good. I was gonna say so I looked at the meeting. Hold on one second. Let me just pull it up real quick. But for the meeting, I don't think there's like anything really. Pretty much, we could do the quiz pretty much if we wanted.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
I was telling Jordan, I did 3 of the 4 problems so far.
Oh, nice. Dude, that's awesome. You're cruising.
I think, and I'm pretty sure, well, see, like, yeah, he does have some extension problems on here, but I think we'll be okay. Yeah, that's a
Dude,
lot of problems.
just think this is our last trig meeting.
It is.
I'm glad this class is over.
Me too.
That's for sure.
I know. Are you guys
I
taking
don't know
any
what I'm gonna.
second block of classes?
Heck
Well, I
no.
just have my normal classes that I have. All right.
Cool. So I'm just
Yeah.
sorry. No, I'm just trying to get everything pulled up here. So
No, you're good.
That's what I'm doing.
So I have. Let me pull up.
do we not have an individual quiz this week?
No,
Oh, we
That's kinda
don't?
nice.
no individual quiz.
Oh, sick. That's
That's really
nice.
nice. We've got to get 100% on this last quiz, though. My grade is desperately in need.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure. Okay, so the only problem, like I didn't do number 3 because I was like, that's one that we can do all together.
Yeah. Let me
Um,
just get the grade pulled up here. Okay.
I did number 2, and then I only have the last one. Number 1, I have it almost all the way done. I just have 2 little
Okay.
things.
Cool. All right. I'm all set up now.
Okay, cool.
So you said we need to finish number 1 and then start on number 3?
Yeah, so finish number 1, and then we just start on do number 3. But I'll go over the other 2 I did and see what you guys think.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so for number 2,
wait, do we want
I
to start
went
at
and
number
looked up.
1 or?
Yeah, I just don't have. So the only ones I don't have the answers to is sine 6 and cosine 6 minus cosine 4. And I was doing cosine 6 minus cosine 4 right before we came here.
Okay.
And so, I
I
mean, all it
gotcha.
is we just have to match the answers. All right, it's a matching thing.
Uh-huh.
I think cosine 6 minus cosine 4 is number D.
Okay.
So that would leave sine 6 as C. Okay, so we'll go over what I got and see what you guys got. Question 1 says, like, find the equivalent to the expressions.
Yeah.
So sine 6, the equivalent to sine 6 would be negative sine negative 6.
Because you just like make it, that's how you try to find it, right? Is you find the negative of it?
Kind of, like you have to, it's like all about the identities.
Yeah.
And so,
That
I only got C for sine 6 because I got a letter for all the other ones, and that was the only one that was left. So I was like, okay.
No, that makes sense just because like I'm trying to think about it here. If you look at the identity sheet,
I think it's odd and even identity.
yeah. Yeah, that's what I think it is too.
Because sine 6 is right, is an even identity.
Mm-hmm.
So because it's sign positive, you take like into so for sine, like if you look at their identity, it's sine negative x equals negative sine x.
Hmm.
And so because it's positive, we would take the opposite of that, right? Which would be negative
Yeah.
sine negative 6.
Yeah. No, that one makes sense. Just going right off the identity, like you're saying. So, do we agree on that one? Are we good?
Yeah, well, I'm good with C on that one.
Cool. So 1C.
Okay, so for the next one, sine 6 minus sine 4, I got A. I got 2 cosine sine 1.
So sine 6 minus sine 4.
Sum to product formula.
Yeah.
And so if you just plug in, so the opposite side is 2 sine 6 minus 4 is 2 divided by 2 is 1. U or 6 plus 4 divided by 2 is 5. So I got 2 cosine 5 sine 1.
2 cosine 5 sine 1. Okay.
Does that make sense on that one?
I'm just trying to just reason through it to make sure I'm on the same page.
No, you're good, dude.
So 2 cosine. So basically, we're taking the 6 and we're subtracting it from the 4. And we're taking
Yep.
this.
Or minusing the 4 from the 6.
Yeah. And then we're taking the 6 and we're adding it to the 4. It doesn't make sense.
Yes. Okay. Do you have your identity sheet?
Yeah, it's right in front of me.
Okay. So look at sum to product formulas.
Uh-huh.
U minus sine V. And then the right side of the equation, you just plug what the left side is into the right side and solve.
Oh, wait. I get it. Because that'll be 1 over 2. 6. Oh, it'll be 2 over 2. Yeah, so it'll be 1. Okay, no, that makes perfect sense. I just wasn't dividing by
Okay.
2.
So that's
That's why
why
I was
I got
thrown
A
off.
for that one.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, good. So for the next one, which is cosine 2, 6 minus sine, like squared 6, sine squared 6, I got B, which is cosine 12. Got that because if we look at the identity for cosine squared U, I mean, not, that's wrong. That's wrong. For double angle identity, cosine 2U, right? So is cosine squared U minus sine squared U, which is what the
Okay.
problem is.
Yeah.
So all we do is take cosine 2 times 6 is 12.
Okay, that one makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, cool. I agree.
Okay, so we got B for that one. So for the next one, I got cosine 6, cosine 4. I got D because
Yeah.
you look again at the sum to product, right?
Mm-hmm.
Negative 2 cosine, which would be negative 5, which would be 5.
Yeah.
Negative 2 cosine 5, and then you do the other side, and then you do it, and you get.
Okay. Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. Makes sense.
Okay. And so then the last one, I got E. Look at cosine squared U, which is the power reducing formula. It is 1 over whatever 2. So if you do that problem, you would get cosine squared 3.
Sorry, which identity is this one?
It's right under the half angle. It's the power reducing formula.
Half angle power reduced. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I see it here.
And so kind of put that number, you put cosine 2, 3 in, and then you do it, and it would equal that formula.
Okay.
That's the only answer left. So
Yeah, that is another good reason.
okay, so, yeah. So I think we agree on we agree on all of those.
Yeah, no, those are definitely right.
Okay, so the next one, number 2, I did this one. I thought it was gonna be hard. It's really not that bad. So what happens for this problem? Sorry, I'm just like switching back and forth. We
Okay.
look at the sum to product formulas, and the sum to product, no, not sum to product, it's product to sum, sorry. That's
Product
what's
to sum.
there, right?
Okay.
Okay. So the first one he said he gave us in the book, so sine u plus sine v or whatever. I didn't see that. Like I went and looked in the book and I couldn't find it.
Uh-huh.
But I did find a product to sum, so I just did one of them. Sine, I did the sine equals 1/2 sine the other one. So it's like number 3 on the product to sum formula. I did that one.
Okay.
So what you do is the formula that it gives you is you take the sum formula. Like, just to explain it real quick, is you would take the sine of u plus sine v equals sine u cosine v plus sine cosine u sine v, right? Then you would take the like, because there's 2 of them, there's the difference in sum, right? So you take the sum identity, the difference identity,
So,
and you,
Tanner, do you think that you can
yeah,
maybe like put your
yeah,
screen on your work just because like I have a lot of
yeah.
trouble following it, like yeah, just trying to see it.
Let's see if I can. It's I don't know if it's. I'll circle it so you can see which one I'm talking about.
Okay, thank you. So just to make sure while you're doing that, I'm on the same page. You did the sine u cosine v equals 1/2 sine u plus v plus sine u minus v, right?
So yeah, I got the answer for that. Like that's your
Gotcha.
final answer is that formula
Uh-huh.
on the right side is what you'll get.
So
Just I'll talk you through it. Okay.
okay. You're working on the left
So
side
first,
then.
we're
Okay.
proving the right side. You could pretty much just write that down.
Gotcha.
The right side of the equation. So sine u cosine v equals that.
Gotcha.
So what we do for the left side of the equation is we have to take the sum and difference formulas of that.
Okay. Gotcha.
So if you go look at the sum and difference formula of u plus v,
Uh-huh.
so you get sine u cosine v plus cosine u sine v, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay, so that is we know because it's positive, right? It's plussing. We know that's the sum.
Yeah.
So we write that on one line. Right below that, you write sine, the difference formula. So sine u minus sine v equals sine u cosine v minus cosine u sine v. Does that make sense
Could you say that
so
last part
far?
again?
Yeah. So pretty much you just take the formula, like the first one we did, the sum formula, but switch the signs
Gotcha. That makes
and
sense.
put them over each other, right? And then you
Okay.
add it together. You add those two together, you
So
get sine
why are
x,
you putting them over each other?
because you're gonna add them together to get the equation, the product to sum formula.
Okay.
So the only
Gotcha.
reason I know how to do this is because like I went in formula to prove it.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, okay, that makes sense because I couldn't have come up with this on my own. I was like, I have no idea.
I was gonna say, man, you're like way ahead of me here.
Well, just because
But I
I
guess
looked it up and like, because I would like look at this problem and I was like, dude, I don't know
uh-huh.
how to do that. And so
I
just
gotcha.
had to freaking do it. So when we add those two equations together, you add them together and see what you get. This is what I got. I got sine x plus y plus sine x minus y equals 2 cosine x sine, well, sorry, I'll use the same letters that are on our formula sheet. I got sine u plus v plus sine u minus v equals 2 sine u cosine v. Jordan, you following us?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
You're all good, dude. This week's rough.
The identities were hard.
Yeah. Okay, David, let's see it.
Can you see this? So basically, I'm like you just basically added this to that, but wouldn't that give you
Yes.
2 sine u cosine v?
Yep, that's what you do. That's what we want to get,
Okay, we got 2 sine u cosine v.
right?
But then when you subtracted these two, they just canceled out.
Exactly. So you leave so what we want to get, David, is on one side of the equation we want sine u plus v plus sine u minus v, right? On one side, on the left side.
Yeah.
And on the right side, we want what you got, 2 sine v u cosine v.
Okay.
So then if we had to solve it to make it look like that problem, to make it look like sine u cosine v, right side by 2,
Okay.
right, to get rid of the 2. And that's essentially like timesing the other side by a half, isn't it?
Yeah.
So then we would put one.
When you divide by 2, it just is dividing both sides by 2.
Yeah. So what you do, but it's like the same thing. Like if you times 4 by 0.5, you get 2.
Yeah.
Right. And if you divide 4 by 2, you get 2.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So that's all. So if you look at the equation, the product of sum formula, it has to be written as 1/2 sine u plus v, right?
Uh-huh.
So pretty much all you're doing when you divide the 2 out of the other side, timesing the other side by a half to make the formulas work. So if you divided that side by 2, time the other side by a half.
Okay.
And so that's all you
gotcha.
do. So like when you have that formula, you divide it by 2, and you just flip it instead of putting sine u plus v over sine u minus v over 2.
Okay.
We just times it by half so it's the product of sum formula. Does that make sense?
I think so. So I'm going to write out my work, and I'll send you a picture of it, and then you can compare it and see if it's like the same thing that you got.
Yeah. That's fine. Hey, Jordan, does that all make sense that we're saying?
Yeah, like what identities you're using and everything makes sense, but like working through it is just such a long process.
Yeah, this one's not too bad. It just, like, if I was there, I could write it on the board and it would make more sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this one's not too bad. You just use it's pretty much like verifying the identity, like the product of sum formula.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did it. The only thing that confused me was the 1/2. So I multiplied the 1/2 by both sides just to get 2 sine u cosine v. And then I worked it out just like you're saying. And then at the end, I just divided both sides by 1/2. So I get the 1/2 sine u cosine v. Wait. No, wait, that doesn't work actually. No. Sorry, I forget I said that.
No, you're good. Like,
okay, wait, no, that makes sense because it's 2 cosine u cosine v. And I divide that by 2 because I'm dividing back by both sides. So then I just get sine u cosine v. Okay, cool. I'll text you a picture of this. I'm pretty sure because that's just basically exactly what you said, so it should be pretty much the same thing. But yeah, so just check out this situation. I'll send it to you too, Tanner. Or sorry, Jordan. I mean, I'm sending it to you, Tanner.
Okay.
I'll send it to you, Jordan. Where did it go?
Okay, I got it.
Cool.
Let me look through it. You should, because if we got the same answer, it should work.
Yeah, I mean, I did get the right answer, and it does make sense in my mind. I forgot to write a negative sign in my equation at first, but I did work it out. Like that wasn't a problem.
So, were you solving the right side of the
Yeah.
equation?
I was.
Solve the left side of the equation.
Okay.
So this is what. Hey, I'll send you a picture of my work, and you can see it.
Okay. Because I mean, solving the right side worked, so solving the left side should work just as well.
Hey, you're exactly right, because all we're doing, it's a proof, so you can do either side.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So David, in this picture,
Uh-huh.
it's just gonna be the one that I put the box around.
Okay. Sounds good. Have you done 3 yet? Have you worked through it already?
I haven't done 3. The only one I did 4 though,
Okay. Because I'm looking at 3, and
and it sucks. It's gonna be like the one we did last time. Remember that?
which one?
It was kind of the one like that where we had. It was like the last problem we did on the board, and we were going through it.
Oh yeah, and it clicked at the very end. Okay, I just got your picture.
Yep. Because we had to like go through and do like all that stuff, and does that make sense how I solved it?
Yeah, so you didn't write down the actual problem to start off with. You just started with the first step.
Yeah. So I didn't even write down the problem because the problem is just like the formula, right?
Yeah.
So then I wrote down the first sum of difference formula, which was the sum formula on top.
Mm-hmm.
Then I wrote that over the difference formula.
Yeah.
And then I plus sine x plus y, right? Plus sine x minus y. That's the left side.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
When you add the right side together, the very right side cancels out.
Yeah, that
And then
makes
you got
sense.
2 sine cosine y.
Mm-hmm.
2 sine x cosine y, right?
Yeah.
So then I divide the right side by 2.
Okay.
There.
Yeah.
Or you just times each side by a half,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and then you got the answer. Because when you times it by a half, it goes to 1 sine x cosine y equals 1/2 bracket that.
So you divided both sides by 2 sine cosine y.
All I did was I just times 2 sine x cosine y by a half,
Okay.
right? Times it by half, that goes to 1 sine. So I just wrote, so the very bottom is the answer. The very bottom of that is the answer. Because I hate looking at on the left side.
Yeah. On your 2 sine cosine, you don't have an x after the sine, so you might want to add that in there.
I know, I forgot to write it.
No, you're good. I don't know if we'll take off for that, so you're good to throw that.
No, I'm writing it down on like a scratch piece and then I copy it over.
Oh,
later.
okay, sweet. Right on. So okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Because I was
Cool.
saying, I think if I was sitting there with you, we would both go through it and be like, okay, fine. It makes sense. Cool.
Yeah, no, actually, this makes a lot of sense. Yeah, good job. It works. Totally works.
Okay. Alrighty. So here we go. We'll do problem 4. I don't have problem 3 done yet. So we can do problem 3 together.
Okay.
Okay. So problem 4. Jordan, have you done the homework?
I started on the first one, like the first one, but not the second one.
Okay. So you've done like the problem 1 of the second part of the homework?
Dude, if we have
Yes.
time at the end, I wouldn't mind going through the last problem on the first homework, because that one I have not been able to get.
Let me see.
But,
I'll let me. So week
we can-
6, lesson 1, last problem. Let's see. I think I probably
we can
wrote
finish this first if you want to, and then if we have time at the end, we can go over that.
Okay, yeah, because I
That's
got
cool.
the answer down. I wrote down the steps to do it too. So
Sweet. Awesome.
okay, number 4, sine 208. Just look at the problem and we say, okay, that is a sum to product formula.
Yeah.
So I end up getting, so I put 2 sine, right? And so I look at which one it is, and it's obviously the second formula on our sheet. And so I got 2 sine 285 minus 15 cosine 285 plus 15 over 2.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting 2 sine 135 cosine 150. You see how I got that, Jordan?
Yeah.
Okay, so then we plug in the values for those. So sine at 135 is root 2 over 2. And then cosine at 150 is negative root 3 over 2.
You're finding that on the unit circle, right?
Yeah, exactly. So then we times root 2 over 2 by 2, which gives us root 2.
Okay.
Times that by negative root 3 over 2. And when we do that, I got negative root 3 over 2. But like the whole 3 over 2 is they're both under the square root and it's negative.
And then cosine of 145. Wait, what's the cosine? So did you get sine 2 sine 135 cosine 145, right?
150.
Wait, no, sorry. 150. Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah. So then like I said to Jordan, problem I got would be 2 times root 2 over 2. Because that's sine 135, right?
You got.
And then I got negative root 3 over 2, right?
Okay, yeah.
For cosine 150. Okay.
Gotcha.
So then I times root 2 over 2 by 2, which gives you root 2.
Okay.
Because the 2's cancel. And then you times root 2 by negative root 3 over 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got the answer. If you do that problem, you get negative root. And then this is all under the root 3 over 2.
Okay.
Because, right, we have to time. So you times root 3. So the top would be root 3 times root 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would like, right, multiply it to get it out. and then we have root, that would leave us negative root 3 over 2, but they're all under the root. Does that make sense? I don't think I have them.
Do we, are our final answer supposed to be used appropriate identity to find the exact angle of the value? Okay.
So the exact value. Yeah, and so that would be the exact value. I even looked up my homework to like find a problem similar to it. And this is what you like, yeah, so this is what we got. I did the problem the exact same way. The only difference is never have us like put the values in. So like you, David, what did you get? So if you do type into your graphing calculator 2 times root 2 over 2 times negative root 3 over 2, what's the decimal that you come out with?
I think it's 1.224, but let me double check.
Okay, so then if you take negative root 3 divided by 2, you get negative 1.224.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how I got the answer. I like times that out, and then I did it, and that was the answer I came out with, and they matched.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So they do want the decimal then. That's what they're looking for?
I don't know if they want the decimal. I just left it as negative root 3 over, like 3 divided by 2. I just left it like that.
So wouldn't the answer be negative root 6 over 2?
Yeah, but if you divided it, wouldn't it simplify to? See, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah,
negative.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. Because you're just factoring out the square root. So you're saying it's 2 times 4, so it'll be 2 square root of 2 over 2. So just negative square root of 2, right?
So yeah, I got. Gosh, let me send you a
no,
picture.
That doesn't work actually. No.
Let me send you a picture and I'll show you.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you could see, because when you do the multiplication, they equal the same thing.
Yeah.
Jordan, do you want me to send you a picture too?
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Okay. It's kind of sloppy, but I guess hopefully you can follow my train of thought as I did it. Okay, so I just sent you it. When you get it, the answer is the very bottom.
Okay.
Let's see how I work through it.
So you got negative 3 over 2, square root of 3 over 2.
Yeah. So not just root 3, but the whole thing over. Because what you do, so like if you times root 2 to root 3 over 2, you end up getting root 3, right? Root 3 times root 2 on the top. And then you would get root 2 on the bottom. And then you would just, if you time like over 2, and then if you did, I just skipped like the step instead of writing it all down. Because if you simplify it, you will just get the root 2 out of the bottom and out of the top, and leave it over 2. Does that make sense? Because so if you times root 2 out, you would get a so just disregard the negative sign. You get root 3 times root 2 over 2 times root 2 on the bottom.
So I'm looking at my work, and so I've got 2 square root of 2 over 2. square root of 3
Yep.
over 2, all these multiplied together. So you can just
Yep.
cancel out the first two 2's, and you
Yep.
get
root
the
2.
you get square root of 2 times the square root of 3 over 2, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what are you doing for your next step?
Okay, so
After
what I do
this.
for the next step is I times root 2 to negative root 3 over 2.
Okay,
Okay, and that would give you negative root 3 times root 2 on the top.
all over
Times
2.
root 2 on the over 2 times root 2.
So I don't think that part's right, because when you multiply fractions, you just multiply the numerators and the denominators. So the top is right. The square root of 3 times, or the square root of 2 times the negative square root of 3, which would give us the negative square root of 6. And then the bottom would be
Yes.
1 times 2,
Root
which
2.
would just be 2. So it'd be negative
Yes.
square root of 6 over 2, right?
Yes. Yes.
So-
And then if you
Okay.
take that, so it'd be the negative, so it'd be negative square root of 6 over 2.
Uh-huh.
And then, but if you took the negative square root of 6 over 2,
Yeah.
you don't get right like the same answer. 6, right, equals, oops, that's not what I meant. Negative square root of 6 divided, hold on 1 second, equals that divided by 2. Well, you do get the same answer. So they're exactly the same.
But I mean, like, when I type in your final answer here, the square root of negative square root of 3 over 2, I get a different answer.
See, I type, because I'm typing it in now right here. I get negative square root of 3 divided by 2, and I get negative 2.247448871.
When you type in, are you typing
The
in the
negative
negative?
square root of 3 divided by 2.
Oh, so everything's under the square root.
Yeah, everything's under the square root. Not just square root 3 over 2. Yeah, like
Gotcha.
everything is under the square root.
So we're not supposed to have square roots in the denominator. I mean, I guess it's not in the denominator. I don't know. I think it would be good to leave it as. Go
Because
ahead.
if you do negative root like 6 divided by 2, that's, I mean, it's the same answer. Negative root 6
Yeah.
divided by 2 is the same answer as negative root 3 divided by 2.
Yeah, I gotcha. I think
So
it'd
I
be
don't
better
know
to.
if we want to go negative root 6 over 2, or if we want to do.
I think it would be better to do negative 6 over 2. What do you guys think?
Okay. That's fine with me.
Okay, cool. That one just makes a little more sense in my mind, because then we don't have like anything in the denominator that's under the square root. But no, you're right. It is the same answer both ways. I thought you were saying something different before, but no, that makes sense too. Doing it
You're
that
good.
way as well.
Yeah, so I will put down for our answer 6 over 2. So when I times it out,
Okay.
I'll just do what we just did.
Okay, sweet.
Okay. So here we go. Number 3.
Last one. Just think, guys, this is the
Yep.
last quiz problem we're gonna have to do.
Ever.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let me see. Man, we didn't write down what we did on our work last time.
Don't.
Okay, so
Do you still have the PDF that, or we didn't send in a PDF, did we? Yeah, never mind.
no, we didn't do anything. If we wrote it on the board, we didn't write it on the paper. That's my problem. Because I'm trying to see, because we don't have any like on the homework that are the same as this problem. So. Okay, but anyway, we just got to pretty much like, so sine of 2 times theta, or alpha, I mean, is exactly the same as saying 2 sine u plus cosine u, isn't it not? Because that's a double angle identity.
Yeah.
Okay. Or we could do tan, like, yeah, so that would, that's what I was thinking, is just doing the left side. But if you, what do you think? Do you want to do the right side or the left side?
So let me just take a look at this really quickly. Assign you
What identity are you guys using?
some difference.
So for number 3,
Sorry.
yeah, number 3, we're looking at the sum or difference
No, sorry.
formula.
No, I apologize. The
Funny,
double angle. I spoke
The
too soon.
identity, yeah, because no, you're okay. Sine 2 times alpha, which is like 2, like sine 2u, right? So if we rewrote the left side of the equation, we would get sine 2 sine u, or sine right, we would get 2 sine alpha cosine alpha equals tangent alpha. Okay, so if we wanted to get
So
all right, I hate okay. Hey, remember when last time we had to okay, I think I'm getting a little bit better. Okay, so remember, David, last time how we had to substitute in the value?
yeah, like put in the actual numbers.
Yeah, we had to we had to do that, but then remember, like so last time we had the problem. Remember the problem we did on the board? Like the example was like 9 sine squared minus equals 2 cosine x or whatever, and we substituted like 1 minus sine in because that equaled, because cosine, right? Because of Pythagorean identity.
Okay. I'm gonna just try to pull that up and check out because we can look at the past stuff that we did.
Yeah, and see that's what I'm thinking. It's going to be similar to that kind of problem.
Okay. Let me just pull it up really quickly. Can you guys see me? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was dark, so I was like, what? Am I on there? Okay, so it's kind of like number 5 on the last group meeting that we had.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. And so if we look at how we solve that and try to solve it the same way, I think we can do it.
Okay. Cool.
Let me pull it up too so I can look at it, because I'm like, then we're almost done. I think it'll be nice.
Yeah.
This is what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Enter right here. I'll just scan in the quiz.
Uh-huh.
But I could turn in this. Like if you send me the link, I'll turn this in.
Uh-huh.
But I can't scan. Like I don't have my scanner to scan in our quiz like I usually do, because I'm not at home.
Yeah.
And I won't be home until tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
So, do you want to write down the answers to the questions we got and scan it in?
I can definitely do that. I don't really know how to use a scanner.
Okay.
But
there's a couple at BYU Idaho that are easy. I can tell you how to do it right now.
okay, hit me.
You go find a scanner. I know there's one in the Benson, and I'm pretty sure there's one in the library and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And they're free. So you have two options. You can scan it from the scanner and email it to you. Like all you do is like create a PDF. There's like an option to create a PDF.
Okay.
And you could scan it into, say, create PDF, and it'll give you options. You can put it on a jump drive and then put it onto your computer, or you can scan it into a PDF and email it to you and then
Okay.
do it. So all you do is you stick it on there face down in the right section on the scanner where it tells you. Jordan, when you send in our quiz that one time, did you take a picture of it and send it in or scan it in?
I sent a picture of it because it was like the first week, but then after that, he said do it as like a PDF.
Yeah. So yeah, if you just do it out of school, put it on the scanner, then there's options to create PDF file. Do you have like a jump drive, David? Then just email it to you then.
Like a thumb drive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have one of those? Like stick it to your computer?
No, I don't.
It's okay. Then don't do it. Like don't worry about that. Just email it to yourself.
So,
there's an option on the scanner to email it to you.
Okay, so I go to the scanner.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, I can figure it out.
I thought it was gonna be hard. It really takes you like 2 seconds. And if I was at home, I have a scanner in my apartment, so I usually just scan it in from my apartment. But I'm not at my apartment, so.
Let me just make a reminder for myself really quickly.
I'm sorry. You probably have tons of work.
No, dude. It's not a problem at all. You've been doing it all semester, so I don't mind doing it. Just got to make sure I remember. Set myself a reminder. Scan. Okay, I'll text you guys once I've scanned it in. If you don't get a text for me, make sure you text me.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, we'll both text you tonight.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, I am going to look at that problem. Like extension problem 1 that we did last time, David.
Okay.
No, it's problem 5, I think.
Yep, it's problem 5. Sorry.
If it'll get down. Okay, problem 5. Yep, that's exactly. Well, his answer is really crazy. Oh, there we go. I was like, what? That's not the answer. Yep. Okay. So this one's a little different because we have tangent over. So this is what I'm thinking. If we put sine. So sine, right? Just what we did last time. 2 sine alpha cosine alpha equals tangent, right?
Okay. Sorry, I'm just working out on this other thing.
You're following me, right?
Okay.
So don't we want to get 0 on the other side where tangent is?
Yes, that's what they did. That's what he did. So on the last problem.
Right, tangent is really just sine over cosine. So I was looking at this and I'm like, what could we do to get? We would times both sides by sine over cosine.
Yeah. Or just divide by tangent.
Yeah, okay, we could do that. Let's just divide by tangent. So when we divide by tangent, we get 2 sine alpha cosine alpha over tangent alpha.
Yeah.
Equals 0. Right?
Okay.
So if we like this said tangent is sine over cosine, that would just give us sine cosine, right? Because we have 2 right now. We have 2 sine cosine, but if we divided one of them out, we would just have sine alpha equals 0. Or does that not make sense?
So I think that it would be sine over cosine, which would be tangent, And then the second one is it's cosine over sine
Okay.
over cosine, which would be cosine squared over sine, which wouldn't be tangent. So what I'm think I'm getting is tangent plus cosine squared over sine. Sorry, is that what you were saying
Tangent.
before?
Okay, tangent alpha, right?
Yeah,
Plus, what did you say the second part was? Then it'll
cosine
make sense
squared
to me.
over sine.
Cosine. Which would make sense because you would have sine over cosine times the cosine out, which would give us cosine squared.
Did the first side did make sense, or is that not? Would it be? Would the
The
first one?
first side, I think, wouldn't it be just be sine over sine, which is 1?
Yeah, but it's not just sine
Cosine
over sine. It's
out.
so it would be 2 cosine, right? For the first
Oh, I
one.
got this. I have 2 sine cosine x on top over tangent. I mean, not x, alpha, right? And tangent is really sine over cosine. So when like we times the sine up here to it, we get cosine squared, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cosine squared alpha over sine, but then we would also have sine over sine, which would be 1, right?
So for the one on the left side, I've got 2 sine over cosine, right?
2 sine. Let me see. Because we have 2 in front of it.
Yeah. So the 2
Yeah,
sines
2.
are canceling out, like you're saying,
Yes.
but then the
Which would
cosine is
still
brought
give
to the
us 1
top.
sine,
No,
right?
because that would be if it were sine squared over sine, but it's just sine over
Yes.
sine.
So it's
Sine
just 2
out.
plus.
Yeah. So
2 plus cosine over sine.
I think it would be 2 cosine, not 2 plus cosine, because multiplying.
Okay, that makes sense. So 2 cosine, is it squared or just 2 cosine?
Just 2 cosine alpha plus cosine squared alpha over sine.
Okay, so 2 cosine alpha plus, sorry.
You're good.
So 2 cosine
Squared
alpha over sine
plus
squared over
cosine squared
sine.
alpha over sine. Yeah, over sine alpha. Does that seem okay to you guys, or is that
That's kind of making sense to me. Like I'm looking at it right now because we would do that, which would give us the cosine. We do this, would give us cosine over sine, right?
what would be secant?
The second part, cosine over sine.
Cosine squared over sine. So you're saying you want to change it to cosine squared of cosecant?
No, you're fine. I'm just trying to see. So then so if we were going to factor this problem then, see, my issue is I'm like, how in the heck are we going to get values? Because we only have one number.
Yeah. No, I hear you. That's a really good question. That question's a 10, and I don't know.
Here, let me look at something real quick.
Okay.
Let's see if I can. Keep using your big brain to figure out what we can do with it.
Sorry, I zoned out for a second there.
Don't worry.
So we got 2 plus 2 cosine alpha plus cosine squared alpha over sine. The only thing, oh wait a second. 2 sine plus sine squared minus
What's up, boy?
1.
About that conference call right now.
What is that ugly jacket you're wearing?
Oh, he's rocking his Boise State color shirt tonight.
Yeah, Boise State. Did you excited for tomorrow? That'll be good, dude. Sorry, I'll hurry and finish this up.
You're good. We actually got a jam, so we'll see you come back.
Yeah, dude, I'll be there tomorrow. Okay. It's good to see you, dude.
Minus sine alpha.
You're so dumb. You're so dumb.
We may have hit a dead end.
Dude, I'm like, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at this. I'm like, I have no idea.
I'm so done with this class.
Hopefully I could get this. Jordan, what do you mean? You don't love this?
No, dude, I'm done.
So you just taking
This
this
last
class
fall.
for a degree?
Yeah, I'm taking it as a prereq, but for physics. Have you taken Math 110?
Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because isn't pre-calc math 110 in this class like together?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, let's see here. I'm just gonna start this over because I think that this is a dead end the way we're going here.
Holy crap. Oh, man, this is not good. Okay, so, man. Okay, here's what they did. So I have this. Man, okay, I think starting over is the right way to go.
Yeah, sadly.
Okay, so switch tangent to just cosine over sine
Yeah.
and minus it from each side.
Wait. How?
I mean, sine over cosine, and then minus it from each side. Kind of like we did last time where we just took the 5 and minused it to the other side.
Okay.
Okay, so then we would get, so yeah, but then we would have sine of 2 alpha. So we'd have, we have minus, so it would be negative sine, cosine, over cosine, plus sine, well, the alpha. I always forget that. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Yes?
So, I'm sorry, I'm not following. Could you tell me just your first
Okay,
step?
so this is what I did. I'll tell you. Here we go. First step, David. I just changed cant over cosine,
Okay.
and then I minus sine over cosine to the other side, which would give us a negative sine over cosine plus sine alpha
Okay.
cosine alpha. Okay?
Gotcha.
Equals 0.
Gotcha.
That makes sense so far?
Yep.
So if we did that, if we rewrite this prop, we times like problem, it's really saying little property thing timesing it, we would get negative sine alpha plus sine This is where it doesn't make tons of sense to me, but we'll see what we can do. Which would give us cosine alpha.
Which equals, or you're adding. So you're saying negative sine alpha plus 2 sine alpha is. Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm listening.
Okay, no. So I'm just trying to copy what you had, just because I got that part, the negative sine alpha plus 2 sine alpha. But then
Yes.
what is the next part?
So I have, okay, so then I have negative sine alpha plus 2 sine alpha cosine alpha over cosine alpha. That's where like it doesn't make tons of sense.
The whole quantity or just this last part?
So the whole thing, the whole minus sine alpha plus sine is equal to that, is equal over cosine equals 0.
Okay. So does it look like this?
Yep,
Okay,
that's
Cool.
exactly what I got.
perfect.
Does that make sense?
Which identity did you use to get from one to the other?
So I just used, so if you use it's the double, yeah, because the double angle equals 2 sine, 2 sine of 2 alpha equals 2 sine alpha cosine alpha.
Okay. So I got
So if you
that
switch
sine
it,
alpha.
so if you would, right, so if you like, if we want it to like make more sense, you could, because how this thing does it is you switch it and it'll be negative sine alpha like plus cosine alpha 2 alpha. Make sense?
I can't say it does.
Okay, this guy. Yeah, because so if we do the identity that we are thinking of right now, we're gonna end up doing this right here. Getting negative sine alpha cosine alpha sine alpha equals 0, which would give us like cosine 2 cosine squared, which would give us negative sine. Here, I'll just do this and see what you do it and see what you get, and I'll do it and see what I get.
I'm not sure. Okay.
Sine alpha equals 0. Man, I hate this problem already. Yep. Okay, gosh. I need a bigger piece of paper. Okay, I'm just gonna transfer all this crap over to this paper.
Oh gosh.
Dude, this is the worst problem ever.
I honestly, even with you taking me through it step by step, I'm still not understanding it, which is a very sad situation.
Dude, it's okay, because half the time I don't even understand it. Okay, so I'll tell you how I'm getting it right now. So I have got to the point of factoring. I can factor it now. I'm on the right step because I can actually factor it. It makes sense.
If you can factor it, that's a blessing right there.
Yeah, exactly.
I sent you
right?
my email. If you could just go ahead. I sent you my email. If you could just send me your email me your work on this, or just take a picture of it and email it to me or whatever, and then I'll just stick that into the PDF.
Send it to you, and then we can see. I'll see what you see if you like
Okay.
agree with it. I'll send it to you too, Jordan. And I'll see if you agree with it, if it makes sense, and then if it does, we can just put that down as our answer for 3, and then we're done with our quiz.
Oh, baby. While you're working on that one, I'm just going to write down the other ones that we've already done. And then once you're done with that one, we'll check it out
Okay, no,
together.
that sounds great. Sounds good. Jordan, does this make any sense to you? I can't hear. Jordan, you can hear me?
I think you have us on mute, Jordan.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, it's not making any sense.
I'll send you a picture. Hopefully it makes some sense to you.
Once I do like the math lab, my math lab, spend a lot of time on it, I can usually make sense out of it. I just got
I'll say
time.
this. There is no problem on my math lab that's like this.
Okay.
Because I've done them. And like me and David spent literally like an hour last time figuring out one problem.
Dang. Yeah, sorry I
We
missed on
figured it out.
Tuesday, guys.
No, it's okay. We figured it out. It just took forever.
Yeah.
Okay, here I'll start doing it.
There's 15 million people in Kentucky. I remember reading that. That's interesting. I like physically that. And then the last one was like, how much what? So whether there's yeah.
Yeah, I would hope you get more than one.
For a bit of fun. A bit simple. Really Christmas.
Okay, David.
Yeah.
Got all 4. I got them.
What do you mean? All four problems?
Remember how we have to do, because there's 4 of them?
Oh, all 4 answers?
Yeah.
Text me a picture of that stuff.
I'm not kidding, man. I think this is making sense.
I'm ready to be enlightened.
I don't know if you'll be enlightened, but So, David,
Hmm.
do we have to put all of, so I got, do I have to go through and do the inverse again? Because these, I got 4 answers, and we don't have to, like, 4 to put the inverse in to get the decimals and stuff like that.
Can you send me the problem first so that I can
Yeah, so
see
I'll
it,
send
and I can
you
probably.
different papers. That's the problem.
You can send 2 different pictures. That's be totally fine.
Let me erase this stuff up here and see if I can paper. I'm trying to throw it down on this paper right now.
Okay.
Gosh.
How's it going over there, Tanner?
Pretty good. I'm trying to write down each step so you can follow it pretty good.
Okay, thanks, man.
Okay. This is where I'm kind of struggling to put it into.
School segment like 3-minute long video.
Okay, I think let me just put the. Okay, it's a little hard to follow because. Yeah. Okay, I'll send you the picture. It's a little hard to follow because when I put the equation in and
Mm-hmm.
okay, here I'll send it to you.
Okay.
What time do you have your appointment right now?
Okay, here we go. Jordan, I'll send it to you too.
Okay, cool.
This is ribosome. It's
Okay, I sent it
Okay.
to you guys. The only problem is I think is the identity I used. I think I used the wrong one. I think I wrote it wrong. It's not 2 cosine. I think it's 2 sine.
Okay. So how did we go from the very first line to the second line, the negative sine alpha cosine alpha plus sine of 2 alpha is negative sine plus sine 2 alpha cosine alpha all over cosine. How did that
Okay,
step
so
work?
here's kind of what I did, right? So it's kind of like skipping a step a little bit, but we know that 2 sine alpha equals 2 sine cosine.
Okay.
The double angle
Yeah.
identity.
So why is the sine inside of the why is the 2 inside of the sine? Like, why shouldn't it be outside of the sine instead of inside?
Yeah, I mean Like, because you're going to plug it into the identity in a little bit, and this is where it kind of gets a little, like, scrambly. It works, and I see how we get it, but I don't know how each step, like this, right? So we times the cosine, like we minus it.
Okay.
We get this, yes. Why did I do that? How did I do that? I guess is the question. Yeah, because that should just be 2 sine over sine, negative sine plus sine 2 alpha over cosine alpha. Right? Is that making sense?
Okay.
Which would equal, yes. Okay, here's why. It just, forget the cosine there. It should be negative sine, sorry, I wrote it wrong. It should be negative sine plus sine 2 alpha over cosine. Okay? That makes sense?
So it should be,
David?
does this? So you're saying
See, I can't see. Yes, over cosine, okay? Perfect. We want to get cosine out of the denominator, so we times
Okay.
cosine to the top,
okay.
right? Which would give us negative sine plus sine 2 alpha cosine equals 0.
Sorry, can you write that out and text it to me again? It's not.
It should be okay. So the message that I sent you, just erase the cosine that was on top, and it's negative sine plus sine 2 alpha over cosine. Okay.
Okay, so I erased the cosine. Gotcha.
Okay. So when we times the cosine to the top to get it out of the right, we times cosine over
Okay.
cosine to get it out.
Okay.
It ends up equaling negative sine plus, in backwards, plus sine cosine 0.
Okay. I'm with you.
Okay, so now we use the equation where sine of 2 alpha equals 2 sine alpha cosine.
Sine of 2 alpha. Okay. So,
You just use the double angle identity.
okay.
Okay, so you plug that in for it. This is where the rest of the message I sent you is wrong because I put 2 cosine is sine. I said sine of 2 alpha equals 2 cosine alpha sine, which is backwards.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So if we rewrite this, it's going to be negative sine alpha plus sine alpha cosine alpha equals 0. And
Okay.
then here's where we factor it. And we factor out a sine, right?
Okay.
So if we factor out the sine, alpha, right, which would be make it, let's see if we factor that out. Oh, that would give us 1. Perfect. Okay, I think we got it. Because we factor out a sine, that would leave us with a 1 here, and that would leave us with a sine cosine.
I'm going to go back a little bit. See if I can figure out the situation. Multiply that times the cosine. Wait, actually, the first equation that you have makes sense. The negative sine alpha plus sine 2 alpha cosine alpha all over cosine alpha. That makes sense because you just multiplied, because we had to get a common denominator, so we multiplied cosine when we have the original equation, or the second equation that we have. Okay, I see how you got the second one.
Have you done number 30 on the homework desk?
No.
I've tried it 4 times and I can't get it right. It's
Didn't
the only one I have left.
30 or 31?
30. I did 31.
Didn't we do that one in class?
Probably. But,
I have notes on that one.
okay. I don't know if we did. If we did, then it was yesterday, not today.
Yeah. Wasn't today?
I don't think so.
I'll pull it up. We'll see if I've got it. And then
I mean, don't worry about it right now. It's coming in like 10 minutes anyway. I was just trying to figure it out. I was trying to figure it out during class today. And I was like, no, I can do it. So I didn't want to ask about it, especially since he had already made the comment about how he didn't want to spend all the time on homework.
yeah.
Well, can I figure out how to word this without it sounding like a homework problem? If not, then I mean, I'll just ask you this morning.
Cool. We'll get it figured out.
But
Got this. Okay. Sorry. No, I think it might actually make sense. Sine alpha plus 2 cosine alpha.
I'm not sure where Tanner went.
Tanner? Oh, is he gone? Equals 0. I'll invite him back in. I'll text him.
Okay, yeah, my phone isn't working. Or I would text him.
This problem is literally incredibly frustrating.
This whole class is frustrating. I don't even.
Hey, can you guys see me?
Yeah.
We can see it. What happened, man?
My computer's freaking out, dude.
So, are you like this?
Okay. So I guess I got it to there, and now I'm like looking at it. I'm like, I don't know how I got this other stuff right here. Do you want to take that to the math tutored guy and see if he can help us?
I mean, are we technically supposed? What? I can check it out. I'll check it out. Sorry, it's like really getting static here. I'll see if I can figure it out. Whatever I can figure out, I'll text it to you guys. Text me your whatever you did last, Tanner.
Okay.
And I'll see if I can.
This is what I got. Sorry. I got. Okay, I will just text. I think. Gosh, this is terrible.
Okay. But yeah, I'll see if I can get it figured out just on my own. I'm sure. There's got to be a way to do this thing. Can't be another impossible problem.
I end up getting root 2 over 2.
Okay. Yeah, just text me your work and we'll see if we can get figured out.
Alrighty.
But hey, I think I'm gonna have to get going, guys.
Me too. Alrighty.
Cool.
Alrighty.
Well,
This
it's been real. It's been fun. I'll catch y'all. Text me your work on problem number 4. Actually, no, I don't need it. Never mind.
Awesome. Okay.
Cool. Just number 3.
All right, guys.
Catch you guys later.
We'll see ya.
See ya.